In the late 1980s, a young boy in the mountain town of Palampur sat glued to his neighbor's television, watching stories of Indian war heroes on the broadcast show Paramveer Chakra. That screen ignited a singular obsession. It bled into his daily life. While other kids wore standard clothes to school events, Vikram Batra consistently showed up in full military dress. Fast forward a few years to Punjab University in Chandigarh. Here, his high-flying aspirations meet a grounding force, his college romance with Dimple. Eventually, pure childhood ambition collides with the friction of growing up. Securing a steady future and planning a marriage demand real, practical choices. To appease her family and guarantee a stable income, Batra considers taking a highly paid, safe job in the Merchant Navy, but abandoning the uniform eats at him. As a friend warns him, killing your own dreams destroys a person from the inside out. With Dimple's support, he chooses the harder path. He drops the shipping job and fully commits to the Indian Military Academy. After 23 years of dreaming and 18 months of grueling training, he earns his 2 stars. He is commissioned as a raw, untested lieutenant assigned to the 13th Battalion, Jammu and Kashmir Rifles. But how does a romantic idealist survive the gritty, morally complex reality of an active counterinsurgency? Batra arrives at the heavily fortified Sapor base in Kashmir. It is an environment of constant paranoia, where the line between an innocent civilian and an active insurgent is nearly impossible to see. Success in this sector depends on his ability to cultivate human intelligence, or HUMINT, relying on the local population to map out insurgent movements before they can strike. This chart visualizes how the intelligence network operates. To make it work, a commander must build genuine trust with locals, like an informant named Ghafoor Bai, while maintaining strict boundaries to avoid fatal betrayals. Small tips from the ground filter up to generate actionable targets. Batra learns to use tactical empathy. He listens to the grievances of the locals and leverages that connection to flip hesitant individuals into active assets against terrorist groups. Long before he led charges on frozen mountain peaks, he had to master the psychological warfare of the Kashmir valleys. Theory quickly shatters in the face of reality. During his first live firefight, he learns that when bullets start flying, textbook training often flies right out the window. He adapts. Using the human intelligence he gathered, he begins leading high-stakes raids, actively hunting down seasoned militant leaders like Atala and Haider, hidden within dense urban layouts. After watching his orderly, Bansi Lal, take a bullet intended for him, Batra issues a directive to his company. He vows that any future casualties will be his alone, personally leading every high-risk entry to ensure his men return home to their families. These grueling months of intelligence gathering and close-quarters raids forged the tactical reflexes he would desperately need for the conflict looming ahead. In the summer of 1999, the theater of conflict abruptly shifts. The war moves from the valleys of Kashmir to the freezing, thin-air peaks of the Himalayas. This topological map demonstrates the massive challenge his unit faced. Their objective is Point 5140. The enemy is heavily fortified at the summit, and the only approach is a punishing 80-degree incline. Operating under the radio call sign Sher Shah, Batra channels his combat-tested fearlessness. He leads his men straight up the rock face, using the steep terrain and the cover of night to ambush the entrenched bunkers. Upon clearing the summit, he radios back his iconic victory signal, Ye Dil Mange More. This heart wants more. He refuses to rest. He immediately volunteers to lead the decisive push to capture Point 4875, an even tougher peak that dictates control over a vast stretch of Indian territory. The final assault is a brutal, close-range firefight. When a junior officer is hit, Batra leaves his cover to drag the man to safety. He takes fatal enemy fire, giving his life as his company secures the peak. The legend of Sher Shah did not happen by accident. It was the final expression of a boy who committed entirely to a childhood dream, tested and hardened every day in the unforgiving